Neat.
The rocks.
This is
The
the
Bourbon
Bourbon
Barrel.
Barrel. And it's been about 2 years since we started this thing.
What's today's date? The 17th.
Yeah.
The first episode dropped on the 18th of
We recorded on the 11th.
11th. We recorded it on 9/11. You
Mhm.
dropped it 7 days later on the 18th. So we're 1 day away from 2 years exactly right now.
Indeed.
Um, so that's freaking awesome. We're almost at 150 subscribers. We're at 148.
Yep.
And our first episode just hit 600 views in the last week or two, and that's the highest views on any whole episode, not counting
Nice. Right,
shorts.
right.
So things are going on. In 2 years, we've had a couple really awesome things happen. We have two long interviews, but they're really informative and really cool and fun to watch with Jesse from Doc Swinson's.
Mm-hmm.
One with the Whiskey Dick,
Yep,
Bill,
we had a live with Whiskey
the
Dick,
first live that we
and
ever did.
a thing I have yet to drop still
Randy
with
Sullivan.
Randy Sullivan.
You just dump it.
Uh,
As far as
yeah,
drop it on it, just drop
yeah.
it. Just drop
I'll
it
drop it.
before we
It's
drop this.
great.
But he was really generous
He
with his
was,
time
yep.
and his knowledge and stuff. It just
Mhm.
happened to be a little,
The bourbon community has been very good to us as far
yeah.
as like the online
We haven't
presence and
dropped it because
such.
we keep debating little episodes. Should you cut it
Yeah,
up or
it's
should
it's
we
a
do big
long
ones?
thing.
That's all. That's the only reason. He's
It's
super nice guy.
super awesome.
Thank him. Thank Whiskey Dick Bill. Thank Jesse for all you've done for us and everybody else too.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway,
absolutely.
that's my done. I'm done rambling.
Yeah, and all the friends that aren't on the show but like find bottles and buy them on our behalf, that kind of thing, or
Mhm.
bring them to us. You are appreciated,
Yeah,
and we
thank
thank you
you.
for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
In honor of our 2 year anniversary, uh, Rox here has decided that we had to spend up and be fancy.
We agreed. All right.
Okay, but he decided.
You have more money than I do. You have more money than God.
Hey, I do not.
Okay,
That's a lot.
with his pinky out.
That's a lot.
He's saying no with his pinky out. He's like, I have more money than you do. Yes, you do.
Anyway, so we each had to find and purchase a bottle for the other person that cost at least $100.
Right.
So
We did.
we did, and we don't know what the other one got. So he probably got me the most expensive bottle of Town Branch, and
No, no. Even I'm not spending that money on that. So no, absolutely not. I was gonna say flip a coin, but I don't have a coin to see if you pulled yours out first or I pulled mine out first.
where
Insert
we got all
joke.
those dimes.
Oh, it's in the bag. No, it's in the bottle. Wait, I have a baggie of dimes. You talk.
Okay, he's gonna go get his dime bag, and we're gonna
Sorry.
flip a coin to see who unveils first on air.
Hey, you know what else I thought of too on a side note? This is funny.
Mhm.
All those rubber bands that are different colors,
Yeah,
that would be easier when we do blinds to just put a rubber band on each one, so we don't have to worry about if we keep them in line.
sure.
It'd just be like red, orange, blue.
I've,
You know
I've
what I
never
mean?
had that issue. I don't think we've had that issue, but sure, we can do that.
Just in case.
Yeah,
Like
man.
I always try to think about it when we do it though, like not moving them too much. And I don't want to think about
Thinking's
that.
hard.
So, all right, this is one of your subscriber dimes. He's gonna
True,
flip.
we actually have to put a lot more in because we haven't done that since
Well,
like
yeah,
70 or so.
I got a bunch more ready.
All
So,
right, heads or tails?
uh, tails.
Heads.
Okay, so you decide because you just won the flip.
I want to see what you got.
Okay, cool. So,
Oh, I'm not surprised.
hold on here. I can just walk this over in a way. So, I was trying to figure out what to buy. Oop, that was a noise. And the guy at Foster's, Adam,
Yeah, yeah.
he was a super cool guy. I was telling him when I was working, or when he was working and I was there shopping,
Yeah.
and he said, "Oh, I got this one bottle in, and I only got one bottle of it." And he said, mind you, $99 or something. So with tax, it went over it. And I was like, "Okay, cool." And I was like, well, "Hey, it's one of a kind." He's like, "I got one bottle. Didn't even know they were bringing it to me. If you want it, this is what it is. You can have it." And I said, "Damn it, I didn't have the money." And I was like, "I know I should. I know I have to, and I know I got this episode coming up." And I told him about it, and I said, "Don't tell me, don't tell him what I bought." And the other guy was like, "Oh, he was just here the other day and bought something that was over $100." And I was like, "Don't tell me what he bought," and so on and so forth. And when I saw it, I was just like, "Okay, well, I have to because I know he's a fan of these things." So this is the Elijah Craig
No shit.
Ryder Cup
I saw. It says, oh, this is
extra
nice.
oak toasted things that he loves. So
Very cool.
I'm gonna do this in this way, and you can I'm gonna move around a little bit here,
Uh,
and I don't want to drop something or
I'm
whatever.
gonna crack that open.
So yeah,
I do.
yeah. Do it up. That wasn't even a purpose,
I
but
haven't even seen any of this.
I honestly didn't know it existed.
Yeah, I saw a couple photos on like some groups, but
Yeah,
still 94 proof
yeah.
official bourbon of the Ryder Cup 2023. Toasted barrel. I do enjoy a toasted barrel.
That was what kind of pushed it over the edge because I was debating some other
Oh,
things,
that's solid, bro.
and I thought, well, A, Elijah Craig.
Yeah.
Now you start with that. We've never just wherever, just toss it, or I don't mean toss like. I mean
European toasted oak.
that's what it was. Yes, they used the oak from
Like the
one of the
like the French oak,
the
but
hubs of the Ryder Cup is like Europe versus America when they do that golf thing.
okay.
I mean, when they play golf, it's something to do with a
Ooh.
tournament and this, that, and the other. So,
So I'm gonna
um,
show you guys this as soon as I can get the cork off too.
I didn't even see that. I didn't even take it out of the
Yeah,
box, I don't
this
think.
is pretty freaking cool.
So, but
Man.
it's been two
So
years. Thank you guys
yeah, thank you
for
guys. Thank
everything.
you,
I
Rox.
hope that
That is let's see there. That you can see it now. That's pretty cool. It's like a embossed like metal.
nice.
Very cool. Very
Didn't even
cool.
didn't know
Yeah.
that either. Bought it, shoved it in the back of my thing, and just waited.
Nice.
So
So we're gonna
yeah.
have to try some.
Oh, should you? Wait, is now. Do you want to reveal yours, or do you want to taste before we reveal yours?
It's up to you. I leave this.
I say reveal.
Okay.
That's because if we kind of do a lot of our tasting and stuff in our on our shows based on proof. So I know this is 94. That was probably the biggest caveat. I was hoping it was cast strength or something,
Hmm.
but when I saw the French oak, other oak, different oak they get from there, I was like, yeah, he loves double and French and other oaks. So anyway, floor is yours, sir. My apologies. I ramble.
So
Old elk. Okay, we've never had any old elk.
never had it at
The
all.
cigar cut.
Now,
Okay.
if you read what it is,
Okay.
I know you have the thing for like the cognac casks and things like that.
Right.
So,
Sherry. Armagnac.
sherry,
How do you say that? Armagnac? Do you
yeah,
pronounce the C or don't you? Armagnac.
cognac, yeah.
Armagnac port and cognac barrels.
So it's got all these barrel finishes that I know you enjoy.
Ooh, it's really good on the label too.
Yeah.
My cast secondary age sherry cast finish 1.5 years, Armagnac 1.25 years, port 3 to 8 months, and 3 to 6 months for cognac. Wow.
And the thing that really sold me is the fake elk horn on the.
You try to put it on camera. Sure. If I well, you can see it, and you're doing the computer stuff, and you're the tech guy.
So
But
that's
that's neat as hell.
like it's actually pretty cool because around it looks like elk bone kind of thing on the edge. So
Now,
that's all old elks though.
with how much was that ish? So
130.
130, so a little bit over.
But
I was the one I was gonna get,
mhm.
or the one I was thinking of getting was a little bit over, and then he brought this to me, and I was like, okay, well
Yeah, no, that you
that's a
had to.
given.
You
So
only got
yeah,
the one. That's pretty cool.
had to. But so anyway,
Had to.
but
So
that's a good point. Like we probably want to start with this and go to this if we always go down like
up
up
in
in
proof
proof
because
as
that's
opposed
94 and
to
this is
I
what?
don't know. And
Uh,
I was so interested.
10.6.
Yeah, so we're gonna go up 16 points and so it's that
Heck
eight
yeah.
percent alcohol.
Yeah,
And
that's
divide that,
how, yeah,
multiply, and
that is correct, sir. All
again,
right,
it's been a couple months
let's
because
do this
you
thing.
know, oh, that's I'm psyched, man.
I'm a generous pour that.
In all honesty, too, in my opinion, I didn't mess up touching that,
You're
right?
good.
Okay.
You're fine.
Um, in my
Hmm.
opinion, if you this is one of those things where if you like one more than the other and I like one more than the other, we can just figure it out. It doesn't make any difference to me
Sure,
at all.
man.
None whatsoever. So anyway, yeah. Thank you so much for this,
Thank
and
you,
let's
sir.
do this. Yeah.
That's a really good find.
It was luck. That was just luck. I was just there, and it was luck, and it was all there was to it. And because he is such an awesome guy, Adam Foster, Foster's Wine and Liquors, Big Flats, New York.
Yeah.
Call him, order stuff, go to see him. He's a
He
cool guy.
always he always gets me anything I ask for, so
He's
like
awesome. Not to
definitely
say,
cool
not
guy.
to crap on any of the other ones around us, though. I mean,
But
those are
we're
good.
gonna.
Yeah. It's been 2 years. It's time to crap on people. So, you know. Oh, wow. It's a
Yeah.
very pleasant nose, I will say. It's a 94 nose, but it's got that velvety, uh, fruity, floral, like just it feels like it's been chef's kiss, you know?
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. So, I mean, have we tried an Elijah Craig that we don't like of any kind? We tried the rye, I think, on one episode.
Yeah.
I see. I keep looking at you. This is
You can
we
look at me.
feel like we took.
I'm not a hideous boy.
He's just so cute.
I'm so
Anyway,
pretty.
he's anyway. Um, you
Interesting.
talk now.
So for a
Did you
94,
taste?
yeah, I did.
Okay.
For a 94 proof, it does have a little bit of that alcohol flavor.
Okay.
Um, but this is honestly this is an Elijah Craig. I mean, I think the packaging is different, but I think it might be their juice, just like straight up,
Right.
honestly.
Right.
But
It put it in the European
yeah,
oak casks or whatever at the
hmm
end of it. So I don't know. Like it's anything Elijah Craig, I feel like I'll try
like
it.
I honestly don't. If I were to put this up against just a regular small batch 94, I don't know that I'd be able to tell a difference.
I don't know that I'd be able to tell the difference and pick it, but I
Hmm
feel like I'd know that it's. I feel like there might be a difference. Like I'd be like,
Yeah.
so they're different.
hmm
I don't know which one I like more. I haven't tasted it yet, but just
Sure.
nosing, mind you.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that. So it's. I feel like I'm. I don't know. Anyway,
Fair enough. Yeah, no, it's quality stuff. Elijah Craig always does good work. And yeah. Yeah.
I'm a fan. I'm immediately a fan. I don't. It's been so long since I've had small batch. I don't just grab a bottle of small batch. I should, but I try to buy
I'm
things for the show and things we have never tried.
honestly anymore, if I'm not buying it for the show, I'm buying Wild Turkey
Yeah,
101.
that's and yes, and okay, so well, but it's not GCP again. They don't care if we say their names. I even mentioned it. They were like, "We
Yeah.
like the plug too. Go ahead, whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody cares."
Mhm.
They've been having bottles of Old Tub, which I love as a sipper.
Yep.
Okay, for 12.99 because they have too many cases. So I've been sipping that a lot at 100 proof, and it's really good. I think it's good. It's one of my favorite, bottom shelf when it's on that kind of. It's usually it's
When it's
30
on a
bucks.
deal, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
12.99. Like,
How can you go wrong?
so this is oh man, but it's still Elijah Craig. It's
Yeah, man.
just it's so tasty.
Absolutely.
It might it's one of those names that you think of it, and once you think of that name, and it could be a name of a distillery per se, it doesn't have to be Elijah Craig, it
hmm
could be Beam or it could be whatever, but I just drink it and or I see it and I'm like, well, if there's a new edition of it, I should try it because it's
Sure.
wonderful. I've
Yeah.
never tried anything of it and I
I've
dislike it.
never hated Elijah Craig
Right.
for any.
This is all new. Like,
Yes.
because we've never
So
had a
that was
cigar malt at all.
no.
And there's a lot of
And
cigar blends,
people
malts,
pair
etc.
cigars with bourbon. Like my dad will go out and smoke a stogie, drink some bourbon. That's what he does.
Has he ever had that one?
No, he's never had
Okay.
this.
Just curious.
Um,
Roll over.
but we've never had it either.
No.
Because Old Elk's always at that price point where it's like, is it worth it? And
Right.
we've never known.
Right.
And I know that you like to experience new things.
Yes.
So I figured this was new to us. It was put in all these casks that you kind of like those things.
I always look for things that are
And
different.
it was either
Always.
this or it was going to be a scotch, and I was not going to buy a scotch.
You couldn't bring yourself to do it. You could
No,
drink
because
gin, but you couldn't buy a scotch.
the guy at Foster's was like, we have this brand new scotch in, and it's really
What was
good.
the name? Do you remember the name?
No, I don't. I
I was
don't
just
keep
curious.
track of scotch.
I
It's like Glenn McKenna. I don't know, 25, probably.
right, right.
I don't know. Some shit.
You don't like the pig. You hate the
No,
pig,
and he was like, "I got it. And you know your boy loves it." I was like, "I know he loves it, but I don't."
right?
And if we're tasting these things out here, I don't want to do that to myself.
Right.
So it was between the Old Elk and Scotch, and I went with Old Elk.
You know what? We are the bourbon barrel,
Yeah,
so
I had an
you're a smart man.
obligation.
I'm drinking water, by the way. I haven't even touched. Have you poured this one? Is that
No,
what you're? No. Okay.
no, that was the end of my Elijah Craig,
This is they
which finished very nicely.
they both have really cool corks.
hmm
Like the corks are that's amazing because it's
The elk bone kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely, and that's not just the cigar cup. That's all of them. But I thought it was pretty cool.
I uh I recently started just holding on to some cool corks when I empty bottles because I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't know if I could talk to the girl that does our shirts and stuff or somebody else, but somebody's got to be able to do something like wind chimes or something with cork. I don't even know what, but there's got to be something somebody could do with
I
those.
mean, you could hot glue string to them and make your own
I don't think I
shine.
could.
Okay,
I don't think I could hot
you
glue anything.
not with those hands.
No, no. I would hot glue
Ooh.
myself to myself. Do you remember like American Pie 2 or 3 where they had to no, it's 2 where he had to go to the he had to
Oh,
go to the
super glued
hospital
himself.
because he
So,
super glued himself
fun
to his.
fact: when I was, I think I was in high school,
This is gonna go sideways, guys.
and
Pay
I
attention.
got a call from a girl, and she asked, how do I unsuper glue myself?" She was like super gluing like something, and she got it on her fingers, and she'd squeezed too hard, and then she couldn't get her fingers apart. And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, you know things. How do you unsuper glue yourself?" And she explained the story to me. And I'm sitting there cracking laughing my ass off. And I'm just like, "Do you use nail polish at all?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "How about do you have nail polish remover?" And she's like, yeah, I was like, just work some of that in there, and that'll take care of it. And she's like freaking out, thinking she has to go to the ER and stuff. And I'm just like the weirdest calls. I get the weirdest calls. The things that happened to me in high school were just the
You
weirdest shit. Like,
it doesn't have to be high school either. There's some stories I know of you post high school that are,
yeah.
whether good or bad, they're
Mhm.
incredibly weird.
I had a bunch of weird friends that like sent me Riddler letters in the mail. Like they cut out letters from magazines and then they mailed me a letter of just random nonsense. And I will never forget the one. It said a crayfish named Fat Aglet, and it was all like Riddler cutouts. And I'm like, why? What purpose does that serve? I was freaking out. I didn't know who did that. That's kind of like that's involved.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I had to look up what an aglet was. It's the plastic part on the tip of the
I was gonna say, I
shoelace.
don't even know what you're talking about. I've never heard that word before in my entire life. So
It's crazy.
that's nuts. Oh my,
My friends are nuts, but
I,
I love them all the same.
you know, and we all appreciate you, all of your friends, one way or another. Whether I don't know half of your friends, and I'm not sure I'm upset about that right now.
I don't think I know half of them as
So,
well as I'd like to. The other half I don't like as well as they deserve.
oh my God, that's terrific.
All
Oh,
right.
the nose. Do you got a comment on
There's a it's a strong nose. Like I don't know what I'm picking
it?
up on that, but I mean this is also 110 proof now. So the secondary age. So it was age 6 years, so 7, 8, 9,
7, 8, 9. Yeah.
10. So this is at least a 10-year age statement overall.
Hmm.
That's pretty wild.
And we know Old Elk is the company that was started by the guy who used to be the master distiller of Ross and Squibb, MGP. He ventured out on his own to make his own company and
So
started
the
sourcing from MGP, but he knew where the good barrels were.
the CEO of Otterbox actually owns Old Elk, and
Oh,
that guy works for him.
okay, cool,
So
cool, cool.
don't
I
ask me how I
assume
know that.
he's maybe got some kind of vested interest in the company,
Oh yeah,
seeing as
he's.
how
I'm sure he
I thought he
probably
started it. Didn't he start it?
he. I think he
Or
went to this guy with the idea
because he needed
because
money?
he needed dollar
Right,
bills.
right, like a
So
partner.
yeah,
Right, right. Well, have we even neither one? You know what I thought? Here's an interesting point for an episode like this. Our 2 year anniversary. Pooh, we should have like popped off a.
those old plastic.
Sure.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that's gross.
whatever.
We're old. We don't want to pick up confetti.
Yeah, I don't want to do work. The I don't remember what we were talking about.
Oh, boo, ooh, oh, put it in your mouth.
Oh,
Do it.
it's the second time today you've told
Yeah,
me to put it in my mouth.
and that's about a different thing
Um,
entirely.
find him on Tinder. Anyway, is that
Nope.
still no? Okay. Are there other dating apps?
There's plenty, but
Okay, I don't.
I don't get on them.
You're not on anything?
No,
All right.
I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. Jesus.
Oh
Dude,
my God.
dude, I love that. That is so
Hmm.
I'm gonna be blunt with you.
There's a different flavor
Yeah,
in
but
there.
this is like this reminds me
Hmm.
of like an old man.
Hold on.
Like I don't
Hold
know
on.
how to
Hold on.
explain this. Like this is like
This reminds me of an old man,
no,
and he bought it for me.
no, this reminds me of like that old wise guy that's like always like he knows everything. Like I don't know how to explain this. This is like
Oh, I
it
know.
tastes like Coach from like the old like
Coach
you remember?
show, the
Yeah,
show
like
Coach with
yeah,
the
where he was like he
Hayden,
had like the
whatever.
green like it just reminds me of like that old 90s kind of like comfort, I guess.
The thing that okay,
I don't know. I don't know how to explain what it's doing to me, but it's very nostalgic and I've never had it before. It
I,
makes no sense.
I, he's right. That doesn't make any sense at all. I feel like
It's warm
the
and
thing with
it's
this bottle is, and whether I take this one home or this one home, this one itself right here specifically because of I'm just up smacking it.
you can smack
Little
the hell
you
out of it.
naughty girl. Um,
Ugh.
but like with all the casks finished,
Mm-hmm.
and then they call it the cigar, blend or cut or whatever. It's going to be as it is. We're not necessarily the best. Other people have been doing a
Yeah.
lot longer than us as far as finding those notes. But there's so many of them.
But they blend so well. Like
Oh no, it's delicious. I'm
I'm
not
not picking
arguing
up
anything. Yeah.
like individual notes. I'm picking up one flavor and it's just like this warm like nice, and it finishes so smooth for 110 proof. I
Oh, it's yeah, yeah, yeah. Very, very.
there's very little burn. It's just it's been aged to perfection.
Yep.
That's amazing.
It's yeah, no, it's lovely.
Yeah,
I
that's
that but that's the thing. Like I feel like we're doing a show, and I'm like I can't really nail the oh I taste the this that or the
I
other.
can't. I'm literally like
But
I take a sip of it and I'm drawn back to like my old Uncle Dick's house where he like would just drink bourbon and smoke stogies inside of it. Like it's weird. It's weird.
had to be Uncle Dick,
It,
didn't it? Had to
it
be Uncle
had to
Dick.
be Uncle Dick.
Couldn't have been Uncle Joe or
Nope.
something. No, Uncle
No.
Dick. Yep.
Mhm.
All right.
It is, I don't know. It's just like a
From the
very,
gin to everything else
yeah,
today, you're just like testing
off,
me all the way to the end, like
off the wall.
seeing if I can keep my mouth
I don't
shut
know,
when you
man.
say Uncle Dick.
This is fine.
Anyway, Uncle Richard.
That's not what we called
I'm
him.
aware. Yeah, I got that part. Yeah.
That wasn't his name. Not his name. That's not his name.
I assume there's actually people who on their birth certificate are named Dick, like not Richard, but
Sure.
yeah,
I mean, they've got
there's got to be.
there's all sorts of crazy names like, X whatever Elon's next kid is.
You you just made me think. Neither one. I kind of stopped. I figured maybe if I was guessing something you might have bought would have been that 2XO.
I thought about it, but it
See?
it was like 90 something, and I was like, it's not 100.
No, but with tax. And that's this one.
Fair.
I was like, he's
Yeah.
like, it's $98, and I was like, I said 100. Shit. And I was like,
Okay.
it'll go over, and it's one bottle. Like he
Yeah.
didn't have another one.
Hmm.
He didn't know it
No.
was coming either. He's like, I
Well,
didn't
yeah,
even know I was getting it.
this is like a really cool like piece. Like this is
Yeah.
something you could have on your shelf and be like, motherfucker, look at me.
This
That's
is.
cool.
You know what the odd part is? Not odd. Well, no, odd isn't a bad word necessarily. Odd is that this is our first expression of Old Elk,
Hmm.
and Old Elk, where we most often shop, is we probably have four or five,
They have
six
quite a few offerings. They
offerings.
have
Yeah.
their Infinity bottle from 21, 22,
Yep.
and a couple others. So it's fine.
All right. And but yeah, it's delicious
Yeah.
and tasty, and it's got a robust kind of um palate where it's holding in my mouth. The mouth feels amazing,
Hmm.
and it's right there. Like I would
Yeah.
almost at some point, whether it's yours or mine, it doesn't make any difference if as long as neither one of us drinks it, and it's gone. But I mean, this one I don't think is so incredible. It's not one of a kind, so I think we could get another
Oh yeah,
bottle.
no, they have plenty on the shelf.
Yeah,
I
yeah. So that's
actually,
okay,
funny fact, so when I went to pick this up, there was another dude there, and he was a bourbon and whiskey aficionado.
right?
And so we struck up a conversation, and I got him to buy a bottle of this with me. I'd never had it before. I was the best salesman they had.
It's great. That's so good.
But
You're like, you should hire me.
no, he actually like he was very interested in like our show and stuff. So if he subscribed, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, because it's pretty tasty.
So it, I never, ever since I found out it was the guy who was the master distiller of MGP, which is the biggest of all the
Yes.
sourcers,
Hmm.
right? I was like, well,
We,
when we do get into that, we're
mhm.
probably gonna like a lot of it.
Oh
The
yeah,
chances of any of it being terrible are
trash.
almost infinitesimally low.
Right.
Is that the right word?
Yep,
Infinitesimally? Okay.
that is correct, sir.
I'm using big words.
Huge, huge buffalo,
I
huge.
there's no way to like pick a quote unquote winner in this as far as like
I don't think it's about winning. I think it's just the
yeah,
fact
it's
that
not
we got some new stuff, and we're
cool
so
stuff.
cool, very cool stuff,
Yeah, that's
and we're celebrating 2 years, so very
yeah,
cool.
2 years. We hope to last another 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's just keep it going, man. This is just us having fun in life.
You got until tomorrow.
This is when it nice, nice. Thanks. You've been testing me all day, so I'm not surprised. But this is just nothing but fun, honestly. We did get to 600 views on our first episode.
Yep.
We're almost at 150 subscribers. Please subscribe and like us. Watch the Randy Sullivan episode before you do this because he's gonna drop. So we just
Allegedly.
mentioned it. Just dump the whole thing. Just dump it.
Okay.
So we can, and so it's there. You know what I mean?
Out in the
It's a
world.
plug for us.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I know.
And
It's true.
and we can't keep it free. Just dump it. Who cares?
That's fair.
Neither one of us did anything, or him.
No, a
Like,
lot of the things that he
need to edit
said
shit.
about like the thing that he was worried about saying has already come to pass because it's been like a couple months since we
Right,
did it. So
exactly. So yeah, you have nothing to
I was a little worried about that, but not anymore.
just
So
dump it.
yeah, I'll do that.
Just drop it. I say dump it, meaning dump it onto the internet, not dump it, dump it.
Not like
He
dump it down
was
the drain.
Randy Sullivan's a very cool guy, very nice
Super
guy.
cool dude.
So
Yeah, but so thank you everyone who's
mhm.
stuck with us for the first 2 years, and here's 2 more years to come.
I certainly hope so. It's my favorite thing to do. But there's so
So
much more for it's been
that's
two
true.
years and
Two
there's
years,
still
and we just got our first bottle of Old Elk. So
you can't walk
oh,
into a store and any store we walk into, we can find one we haven't had.
that's true.
Doesn't matter, and it's a bourbon. We can find a
Hmm.
bourbon we haven't had at any store we go to. So
That's
we're
the
gonna
truth.
keep educating you on our thoughts, whether or not they're
Yeah,
right or wrong
whether or
is
not
how
that's
we
a real
feel.
education, you're
Yeah,
not gonna get a
yeah,
degree.
yeah.
So I'm Nate,
I'm sorry you have to edit all that nonsense. And I'm Rocks.
and this has been the 2 year
Bourbon.
anniversary of the Bourbon Barrel.